Okay, we are back with lockdown wines, and we have a little bit more lockdown here. It has been somewhat trimmed by one of my daughters, which we won't go into. So, we're very lucky today because we are going to do two things. First off, we're going to finish off Vallserrano a little bit later than wanted, but yeah, we'll finish that off. So we've got a Reserva, which is 10% Graciano. And then we have two Gran Reservas. Now, one of them is from a 2012, which, yeah, it's quite a good year. But it's a very special wine because there's a lot of Gran Reservas out there. But this is, if you haven't tried this or one of the, those mosquitoes, or one of the great Gran Reservas, I would recommend you to do that because quite often in the UK we have a lot of what I would call decent but not great Reservas and Gran Reservas. These are, I mean, very fine Gran Reservas. So, what I like about this one, I mean, these are, so you'll find, I don't know if I have found personally that the really good ones do have a good percentage of Graciano, but that's just the ones that I have tasted most of the smaller vineyards. And it is worth getting these wines, which it is worth getting them and having them alongside your typical Reserva and Gran Reserva. And I do remember a period in sort of the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, when everything was booming, Spain was booming, and I was drinking a lot of Gran Reserva. And they are very different, and it is good to have the different levels of them because there are different levels. People find it a bit. I think they think that all Gran Reservas, because there isn't the sort of a hierarchy that you have necessarily in a lot of wines, are quite similar, but they're not. So this is the Reserva, and I mean. So I'm very spoiled. I do drink a lot of Reservas. I drink a lot of Reservas from 2015. And I have a great one here, which is Beronia, which you can get all day in Majestic. I'd say it's probably it's almost at the same level, maybe a step down. And then there's obviously the Cune, which we're going to do in another one, 2015. I don't have one in front of me. Even in a lockdown, I don't have that many bottles of wine open at one time. Really, you've got to believe me on that one. But yeah, it's this is a step above. I mean, you just need to, I don't think you'll be able to pick up the colour from the filming, but and I'll point you to the videos where we do the tastings are actually recorded, so I won't bore you with the details that are in there. But we spend a lot of time talking about the acidity and the oaks, and they're just a more noble wine than the typical Reserva that you will buy in the shops. And there are not many Reservas that are readily available in the shops that will surpass the level of these wines. It's really a very good wine. However, I won't lie to you. I do drink a lot of Reserva, and even though that is a step above the Cune and the Beronia, the Cune and the Beronia are very good, and I have been drinking rather a lot of them in the lockdown. So, special as that was, it's not blowing my socks off. However, let's go to 2012. Because this is, well, and let's go to 2001. 2001, I have a soft spot for because it is the year when I started my consultancy. And look at that. You see, wines like this are not, I mean, especially, I am telling you these that they are a step above, and it's very easy with wine to get into different levels, right? Some people won't think of, I mean, I've worked with people who are fantastic, but they wouldn't dream of putting anything under 50 or 100 pounds a bottle on the table. And there are people who would not, I know, who drink a lot, who wouldn't dream of even using my 2015 Bologna as a daily drinker like I have been doing. And I was probably that person a few years ago. Everyone changes, everything changes. However, what I think we do have to have in context is that these wines are more expensive than the daily drinkers. However, they're nowhere near as expensive as wines that are this good from other parts of the world. In general, I mean, the consistent quality that you will get from a Spanish Gran Reserva is just, I could drink this all day long. There's something, I don't know how they get it, and I need to investigate this more, because I do like licorice, and there is something amazingly sort of licoricey about really good Rioja. And not in a kind of, if there's anyone out there going, God, I hate licorice, it's, you know, it's that porty, it's that tannicky, but not in a bad way. And it's all about the acidity and being able to manage the aging, because, you know, at the end of the day, 2001, it's nearly 20 years old. And quite often, I mean, one of the reasons why there are wines from other parts of the world that do fetch so much money is that, you know, by 2001, there are a lot of Bordeaux's that are very expensive and are only just coming into their own. Whereas there are a lot of Gran Reservas which are already past it. And I dare say a lot of the supermarket 2001s will be past it by now. But this Vallserrano still has a lot of legs in it. And honestly, you know, if you want to follow along on the videos that Jimmy's done and buy some boxes from them, I'm sure they will be very happy, more than happy, to send you some of those boxes. I'm not even going to bother with the (2012) because this just takes me back to very, very good places. And it's actually reminded me that I need to get some other wines from this period. So from here, we're going to go to a step down because my concierge box has arrived. So we have 12 to 15 bottles of fairly low to average, depends how you, I mean, for some people will be saying, it's very difficult with wine to put things in the bracket, but as far as the UK consumer and a place like Majestic is going, you know, they're kind of middle of the road to low. But after that, this has reminded me that we need to step it up a bit, and we're then going to get some very nice Spanish wines, and then some very nice Italian wines, and then some very nice French wines, and a complete mix of New World wines. I'm going to start with California, and we'll take it from there. So I hope you are still well in this lockdown. I hope you are enjoying this series as much as I am. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.